Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Tuesday morning. Hope you're well, hope you're looking after yourself and looking forward to a good day or whatever it is that you're doing. All right, make the most of it. We've got a bit of a loan roundup today, so talk about all the boys going out on loan, how they've done. There's been this season's shown up some real good loan deals for us. And there's a few that have only just started and look very good already. So we'll talk a little bit about some of those guys out on loan, as well as this report around Raphinha and Spurs' interest in him. So yeah, we'll get into that as well. Just want to say before I start, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let me start with the loan roundup, okay? Because I think that's more important right now, okay? I'm going to start with the two lads up on the thumbnail, okay? As I like to try and make sure I speak about the people on the thumbnail first. Alfie and obviously Ashley, the two A's. Phillips and Devine, or Devine and Phillips, to make it actually precise. Look, Phillips... If you don't follow Pieface on Twitter, I do, because I used to like FIFA. Someone actually asked him about Phillips. I think it was a Spurs fan actually, and he was just like, "He's a future captain you've got there, like magnificent." And he's having an absolutely brilliant loan deal already. He's only been there a few weeks, and he's literally played every game. He's pretty much played 90 minutes every game. He's pretty much dropping he dropped man of match performance in his first game. He's continued that sort of level of performance. And actually Plymouth have had a real turnaround. Well, I won't say a real turnaround. It's not like they've had a bad season or anything, because obviously they came up last year. A lot of people expected them kind of like a Luton style to go straight back down because of the fact that they're not a very big championship side. But he's got in there and absolutely tore it up. Alfie Devine got 75 minutes, obviously missing the last game because it was the FA Cup, and he's obviously cup tied because of Port Vale. He played 75 minutes, and both had a really good game in a 1-0 away win to Swansea. And look, if you're winning away and you're keeping a clean sheet, that's a damn good performance. Now, when you look at the stats more in particular, I think they had 28% possession, so it wasn't one of those that they were showing their free-flowing football. But, new manager just come in recently, someone that Alfie Devine and Ashley Phillips have worked with in the England youth setup. It's going to take time for them, and you know what? When you're winning, and that's the important thing. That's all that matters right now. But yeah, both had a very good performance, both playing a lot of football, and you know what? They're playing a lot of football and having good performances in the Championship, which is key, very key, especially for Alfie. I feel like they kind of took him away from Port Vale, sent him over to Plymouth to kind of just speed up that process of him developing into a midfielder that we all want. I think he probably got on loan next year, either to a top Championship side, if this thing goes really well, top Championship side, maybe even a lower Premier League side, maybe. Same with Phillips, potentially. Potentially, I'm not saying it would, I'm just saying potentially. Neither of them are going to get sold, I don't think, unless someone offers stupid money, okay? Moving on, I want to talk about Mr. Jed Spence out in Italy and playing for Genoa at the moment. And do you know what we said on the last time out of one of these? Oh, he didn't have a very good game. He got pulled off at half-time. They were 1-0 down. Well, you'll be happy to know they decided to play him at right wing-back, his actual position. I know. Who would have thought you bring in a right wing-back and then, you play him right wing-back? I know, it's bonkers, isn't it? It's something that it just doesn't make a ton of sense. So it was a 0-0 draw away to Empoli. Obviously, that is Vicaro's old team. But yeah, he played the full 90, and all things considered, he had a really solid game, and that's the important thing. The fact he's playing solid minutes, he's playing solid games, he's contributing, he's kept a clean sheet. That's always a nice thing as well. Away from home, keeping a clean sheet, always a good thing. Keep that level of performance up, and that's where you'll be playing next season, because they'll probably take you on a permanent, that's for sure. Joe Rodon, probably the man that's having the best loan deal out of all the boys. Joe Rodon, 1-0 win away to Bristol City. Again, was fantastic, setting the tempo out from the back. It was dominant as well. And look, he's having I say it every week, you're probably sick of me talking about the fact he's having a bloody good loan deal. And he's a guy that Spurs won't struggle to sell in the summer. He's not on crazy wages. His fee would be 15. I mean, look, if he continues this, his fee's not going to be 15 million. His fee's going to be about to 20 million. Because he's playing week in, week out in a team that's fighting for automatic promotion. He's keeping clean sheets. He's one of their best players. Trust me, if you've got players in that league going for 25 to 30 million, What's to say Joe Rodon can't go for 20 million? You know what I mean? I think Spurs probably do so on a deal, though. They'll probably go, no, we'll slide you 15, you know. But you have to do it now. We want this deal done now. Let's not wait around for a month whilst you try and haggle us to 12 and a half. But yeah, no, another really good loan deal for us there. And that's probably the main one that we've had so far, is that he's had the best. Of all the loans that we've had, he's had the best one. Troy Parrott. Now, good and bad. Let me start with the bad. It was a 2-1 loss away to Almere. The good, he scored. He did score. And again, he's actually one of those having a good loan spell. Like Joe, you could probably put in Ashley Phillips, and Alfie you could put in because of the Port Vale. We haven't seen enough at Plymouth just yet, but for the Port Vale, he had a good loan deal. Troy is having another good loan deal, and he's one of those that we have to kind of just see in the summer if he offers anything to Ange. Because this guy's been around for a while and hasn't had the chances that maybe other strikers have had. And I think it's fair. You know, even Dane Scarlett's had more of an opportunity. You know, Alejo Veliz has been with the first team a lot more. I wouldn't say Alejo's had tons of game time, but you know what I mean. Will Troy have game time? And if he doesn't, I think this might be the summer that Spurs officially move on from him and do sell him. But I think they'll give him a chance. And I think that's only fair. Give him a chance of pre-season. See what he's got. See if you like anything. And if not, there we go. Moving on. Japhet Tanganga, Millwall. And lost 1-0 away to Hull City. He played the full 90 minutes. Didn't have a great game. But to be honest, Millwall didn't have a great game. So there's kind of that, as a centre-half, it's quite hard to have a good game when everyone else around you's not having a great game. And look, he's only just joined, so I'm not going to take stock in that performance alone. He's just joined. He's played, I think, 2 games. Let's give him 5 or 6 games before we even start thinking, is it a good deal, bad deal? Is it an all right deal? Is he going to stay there? Is he going to not stay there? Let's just see. That's the way I'm going to sum up Japhet and how he's done. I'm going to quickly just run through a couple. Tanguy Ndombele played 2 minutes. I can't really talk much about that one, unfortunately. He has played more football recently, but this one, only 2 minutes. Matthew Craig at Doncaster Rovers was an unused sub in their 1-1 draw with Sutton United. Josh Keeley played in a 1-1 draw against Wealdstone Raiders, conceding in the 90 plus 10 minute, or 100th minute, depending on who you are. That's gutting to a 1-1 draw. That is gutting to concede that late on and that happen. And just really quickly about the man that played last night, Sergio Reguilon. Obviously, Brentford played Manchester City last night, losing 3-1. Actually, of all things considered, people were going, he played him on for the goal. Yeah, I mean, he also had a bloody good game, though, all things considered, when you think he's not played a lot of football recently. He's playing in a new team against the best team in the world. He was bombing forwards. He was actually defensively cutting out passes. He looked quite solid defensively, actually. The Brentford fans all clapped him off at the end. You could tell he had a good game. He played, I think, 80 odd minutes. He looked tired at the end. He's not match fit to play 90 minutes week in, week out yet, because he wasn't doing that for a while at Manchester United. So I think he had a good game. I did. But it's typical Spurs fans. They have to not like something or someone, But that's a bit of the loan roundup, guys. So plenty of good performances there. Some and some hopefully you play more soon. So let's finish off with this Raphinha chat. So this came from Team Talk. It said Tottenham have reportedly made contact with the representatives of Barcelona winger Raphinha. Liverpool are also interested in signing the former Leeds star. Now, on Raphinha, I was thinking about it because I did a video yesterday talking about Raphinha and Pedro Neto from Wolves. Haven't seen it? Go back, have a little watch. And I was talking about wages. I said, look, he's on about 200 grand a week, right? On that, he's got he's got a few years left on his deal. Spurs aren't spending 70 million euros what Barca spent on Raphinha. They're not doing that. He's a few years older now as well, which kind of doesn't help that. He's now probably slap bang in the middle of his prime. Maybe just before the middle of his prime. Maybe in a year that'll be the middle of his prime. It doesn't feel like the move that Spurs would do in this regard. There is no sell-on value. So hear me out. When we come at FFP, that you want to have a bit of a sell-on value on players. So if you had a Pedro Neto that even though he might be cost £20 million more than a Raphinha, because he's younger, in a few years' time, if he absolutely tore it up, you could potentially sell him on for more than what you bought him for. With Raphinha, in a few years' time, he's 30. You ain't selling him for more than what you've already spent on him, unless Saudi come in with a ridiculous bid. So it kind of would feel like what we're trying to build right now at Spurs is this great group of young to mid-young players who are going to be around for 5 or 6 years. I don't think Raphinha would be around for 5 or 6 years. I think Raphinha would be around for maybe 3 or 4 years. Neto, I could see being around for 5 or 6 years. That's why I think they would go Neto, but Neto's obviously going to cost a lot more than Raphinha. Raphinha, I think you can get for about 40. Neto, I think you're going to get for about 70. And that's where the issue lies. We'll see on that, but there's no harm in talking to his representatives. There's absolutely no harm in that. And I don't think that's shocking to anyone that we've talked to as representatives. It's what leads from that conversation, you know? We shall see. But anyway, guys, end of the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comment section. Your thoughts, feelings about the boys out on loan. You know, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is you want to feel like. Let's have a chat. Obviously, Raphinha, talking to his representatives. What are your thoughts, feelings on that as well. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification for more. But anyway, guys, in the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.